Okay, we'll continue on. It is now time for 9.0, which is citizens participation. And the Lexington County School District 1 Board of Trustees provides a time for citizens participation at each regular board meeting. I do not have any cards, and unless someone wants to speak, I'm not going to read. Are you speaking? Okay, so if you'll bring me your card, please. Yeah, well, it's coming. Okay. Thank you, Lori. Anyone else want to speak with us? Okay, we'll get the podium ready, so wait just a minute. Okay, first, in order to speak, you must be a parent or legal guardian of a student in Lexington County School District 1 or a resident and taxpayer of the district. Second, each speaker has 3 minutes. Third, you may comment on an agenda item, school operations, programs, policies, or other matters of concerns. However, you may not speak about specific individuals, whether students or staff. There are other ways to bring situations like that to the board's attention. We want to give everyone a chance to speak tonight, so for that reason, board members will not reply to individual remarks. And if someone makes the point or points you came to make, we'll skip that. We also ask that you not clap or make any comments either while an individual is speaking or after a speaker finishes, as that slows down the process considerably. Did anyone else want to speak besides Ms. Frieda? Okay.
Can I just start?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh, I can't, I don't know.
Thank you. Okay. We'd like to recognize Jennifer Frieda. She is here tonight to talk about the tobacco-free school policies. She lives at 324 Glen Cove Court, and she has children at River Bluff High School. So, Ms. Frieda, go ahead.
Good evening. I hate this microphone, but I know you're going to tell me I have to use it. I'd like to take this opportunity to discuss some concerns I have about the 3 policies surrounding tobacco-free schools. All 3 policies state, including but not limited to. Therefore, I believe the reality is these consequences may or may not be what is followed in the schools when such violations occur. I wanted to know what happens, for instance, if my daughter got caught by a staff member in the bathroom juuling in school. So I understand she gets brought down to the main office and sits in front of an administrator, but then what happens? What does the situation look like, and what steps can I expect to be followed? Is it the policy GBED or in the student handbook on page 51? It states students who violate policy GBED, tobacco-free workplace, will be subject to disciplinary action in accordance with the district's student code of conduct policy and administrative rule, JICDA-R, which they do state confiscation of items, out-of-school suspension, up to 3 days out-of-school suspension, and mandatory tobacco addiction counseling after the second violation. The handbook does not list suspension from extracurricular activities, which I feel may be the best deterrent and only consequence a teenager might care about at this time of their age. The handbook also says the administrator will notify the student's parent or guardian instead of having a conference, as these policies tonight state. I would like you to consider removing the word mandatory in enrollment in a tobacco prevention or cessation program after the second offense. Making such a program mandatory, in my opinion, is assuming the student is physically addicted to nicotine. Not only are there many other reasons students are vaping and or smoking or have these items in their possession, I feel it's a parental decision, not a school decision, to make it mandatory. Available, I think, is great, but mandatory is another thing. Also, in the policy JICDA-R and the student handbook, it says mandatory enrollment in tobacco addiction counseling, versus the policies say tobacco prevention, education, or cessation program. So I don't know why there's a discrepancy there. Along those same lines, mandatory enrollment is under staff as well, and I believe this is up to the individual person to decide rather than the employer. I would also like you to consider the removal of the second bullet under visitors, volunteers, or members of the public. it says termination from volunteer positions. I believe the fourth bullet point covers that for someone that is consistently making a choice to violate district policy. Lastly, all the policies in the world don't make a difference unless the teachers and staff are trained properly, and I don't know if this is being done. As far as the vaping and the nicotine products, there's new things all the time, so I'm hoping that they are. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Frida. Okay. Now we're going to call up Sherry Risch. She is going to discuss the new, the new White Knoll land purchase that we're looking at. And she lives at 372 Bama Road in Gilbert, and I believe your daughter is at Gilbert High. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Risch.
My only questions were, when, Mr. Salters, when you were showing the land on the screen, you briefly noted that there's a drop-off, right? From the top of the, like, almost cuts the property in half almost in elevation. And the school would be kind of in the top. My two questions are, how much of a drop-off are we talking there? And if it's a major drop-off, how much is it going to cost to backfill the property? Just wondering. And I guess you're not allowed to answer me now, but.
No, we can go ahead and answer you.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's not that much of a drop-off. All of the board members have been by and seen the land. Have you been over there?
I'm from there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I think it would be better.
Mr.
Just let
Salters?
Mr. Salters reach out to her.
Okay, we'll have him call you tomorrow because we've got your cell
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good piece of land. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Mr. Salters, I have Ms. Risch's cell phone number, so if you want to, I can provide that for you tomorrow. Okay, anyone else wish to address the board? Okay.